man of God must remain focused in the ministry.
A pastor needs prayer, care, love, and encouragement.
You have to have a mentor, someone you can be able to obey, to love, to submit to.
What these pastors and leaders should do to create the right culture.
The most powerful thing a pastor can do to his people is teach them. Being accountable to an authority is not weakness, it's strength.
On Encourage a Pastor, we share real and authentic conversations that intend to give solutions to a pastor.
If there's a minister out there are character issues, don't push. Don't keep on ministering. You won't be fruitful.
In the body of Christ, certain wives have given up because probably they feel they haven't gotten the right leadership from their own husbands.
We need to learn to know our husbands after the Spirit.
I'm telling you, don't quit.
Catch Encourage a Pastor every Saturday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Good evening or good morning, depending on where you are watching us from. I want to welcome you tonight for the GG report. Tonight it's about issues. We continue with the discussion about disability and education, mainly on how to explore your child's potential. And this is very, very good, and it's going to be very interesting. So I want to welcome us all to share the link with our social networks so that we can engage in this wonderful conversation. As you know, every parent has hopes that their child will become intellectually or physically or wholesomely independent. This dream is often cut short at times, and it's not always realized for children who are able differently. Then this discussion tonight, we seek to explore how we can exploit our child's full potential. What is the role of a parent in the realization of their child who is abled differently? Join us in this conversation tonight. And tonight, remember, this is the GG report, and the GG report is a platform for big, bold, and honest conversations of social, cultural, philosophical, political, legal, and even theoretical issues. But tonight, our angle will be more social than any other thing. And tonight on the set, I'm joined by a very wonderful lady, and I'm sure you're going to like our discussion tonight. My guest tonight is none other but Jane Gitau, who is a counseling psychologist and a mediator. She's a parent and very passionate in supporting persons and all manner of persons in their psychosocial and mental well-being. So I welcome you, Jane, to this show. So maybe you can look at the camera and welcome the viewers.
Oh, thank you so much, Madam Karen. Welcome, viewers. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Now, tonight, our discussion is unique. We are looking at issues of disability and education. And specifically, we are looking into ways we can really see or bring out the maximum or optimal potential of persons that are able differently.
Very true.
So possibly today I just want to ask you, maybe you introduce yourself a bit thoroughly, who you are, whether you have a family, whether you have children. Just take time and look at the camera and introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Jane Njeri Gitau. I am married. I've been married for 28 years.
Wow.
I'm a mother of 4. And it happens that my last born, the 4th child, is actually challenged. Yeah, so I'm a counseling psychologist and a certified mediator. Already practicing, yeah.
Viewers, you can hear this is going to be very interesting discussion. Please do not turn off that dial. Just share the link, share with your social networks, share with your neighbors. Maybe you know someone who may benefit largely from this discussion tonight. Maybe you have interacted with them in your social networks, in your religious circles, in the apartment where you live, in the flat where you live, in the school where your children go to. Please share the link with them and tell them to join in so that we can journey together and discuss this matter. Now, talking about persons that are able differently, tell us a bit more about you said it's your last born daughter? Just tell us, if you feel free, and tell us about her, a bit more about her and what it is that she's challenged from and how where she is, how old she is. Again, you can repeat and tell us the journey.
Yeah, so as I said earlier, I'm Jane Gitau, and I'm actually a mother of 4. And it happened that when I was expecting the 4th born, I certainly did not expect that it would turn the way it turned. It just happened that it was a delayed labor, and unfortunately or fortunately it was a CS. So basically I was not able to see what I had given birth to immediately. And it happens that when I went to see the baby, for some reason, where she was lying, I don't know, in my spirit was quickened. You know, I'm born again. I love the Lord as my personal Savior.
Amen.
So my spirit was actually quickened. And I heard in my spirit, there is something to contend with here. And for some reason, there was no actual look that you could see and tell, Aish, you know. But in my spirit, I was like, wow, there is something to contend with here. And sure enough, when the baby started growing, I spotted something. The baby was not responding like the others. But again, it's not like I really wanted to compare her. However, having been a mother of 3 before, I was like, somehow, you know, there's some milestone you expect to keep flowing. It didn't flow as much. And so I went to consult a neurology surgeon because I was thinking there must be a problem somewhere. And when I took my child there, actually he told me, don't compare Samantha. She's called Samantha Wanjera.
Wow.
Don't compare Samantha with any other child. She's a special child, just as she is. I was like, okay. And actually he blasted me, and I felt like, hey, why am I comparing her really with other children? Okay, so I waited, and sure enough, came 8 months. That's the time she started sitting, and I was like, hey.
Okay.
Then again, she couldn't even stand. Then when she was about, I think 18 months is when she started struggling to stand.
Oh, okay.
But just struggling. And it was on. And I consulted a certain doctor. Actually, she was sick. I think she had pneumonia or something. And so when I went to see the pediatrician, he actually told me, he told me, I think this child has autism. And I was like, what is autism?
Wow.
I didn't even know what that was. So he sent me to some doctor in Kenyatta, Doctor's Plaza, where I went, and they did the testing, and he confirmed that the child was actually going through autism. So I was like, what is autism? So I had to check around, and he told me it's a delayed milestone, whatever condition. She may not respond as fast as the other children, but you might as well get there.
Okay. Okay.
But some times back, I remember somebody had mentioned that my baby could have been going through cerebral palsy. I knew among all the conditions,
Yes.
I only knew cerebral palsy. I didn't know about autism. But I knew cerebral palsy had something to do with the backbone,
Yes.
you know, and
Yeah.
the spine. And I knew the children don't sit. But mine was already struggling to sit.
And to stand.
Yeah, so, but that particular time when he talked about it, he had actually lost a CP. He had actually lost a cerebral palsy child,
Yes.
I think just 2 weeks before. And so I think the person was very quick to judge. My child was 8 months. So that's the time she was struggling now to sit.
Okay.
But even then she would not sit with an upright spine.
Yes, yes.
There was that struggle, you could see.
Yeah.
But actually she would. But imagine, when he said that, nikakemea, you know, it's just like, hey,
No.
not my child.
Not my child.
And sure enough, that person even went further, came and visited me in my office, and they even offered to give me that car seat. I didn't know about even the seat.
Okay.
And
A
I was
special
like,
seat.
yeah. And I was like, why do you think my child is cerebral palsy? Yeah, because we've had an experience like that. Oh, the seat is very expensive. You can probably take it now that your child is gonna. I told him no. Because their child died at 18 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, was I think clocking 18 years. So I was like, my child is only 8 months. By the time she clocked 18 years, or probably an age to need that particular seat or to fit into that particular seat, I think maybe there could be other kids struggling in between.
Yeah.
Why don't you
Give
it
someone
out?
else.
Yeah.
Who already needs it.
Exactly. When I get there,
Yes.
as it is the way
God
I
will
feel,
provide.
God will provide.
If you ever get there.
Precisely.
Yeah.
But I also told the person, my child is not cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
No, I refuse that in the name of Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we went on and on. And I actually started taking my child for therapy in Kenyatta and another NGO at APDK. Actually, that is where we started.
True.
So when we left Kenyatta at
Yeah.
one point, I went straight to APDK. And that particular day that we went to APDK, strangely enough, my baby walked.
Wow.
That very day,
Wow.
the first day.
Yes.
So Kumbe, I think the child was forced to walk by a house girl. So she developed some phobia. I didn't know much about all these things. So that particular day, the clinicians just took a mop stick
Yes.
and just held it.
Yes.
And
she held it.
since the baby was very scared, had that
Yes.
phobia,
Yes.
when the baby was just lying on his laps, and the clinician was actually standing, he just made her hold it, and he started walking with her, and they would just push her, push her, push,
Yes.
and then she would really grab that mop.
Yeah.
Do you know, at one point, because she had held it so hard, he just released. And you know, she walked and walked and walked very far without realizing there was nobody behind.
Wow.
And that is when now they realized it was a phobia. And they started working on her. And within no time, I think within 3 weeks, she started walking.
Wow. So from what I hear from you, you're saying that from the onset, you know, around when she was very, very young.
That is about...
There was a kind of a confusion about autism, cerebral palsy. So what does that tell us about diagnosis? Was it that there was a challenge in diagnosing the issue, or with the medical, or is it that our medical science had not matured to matters disability 16 years ago?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, because this issue of the cerebral palsy was actually not from any doctor. This was just the passerbys. The people who just look at you and judge you. So this is somebody who judged just because they had had a CP, a cerebral palsy child. So they just told me that by the look of things, they were trying to diagnose my child.
Oh, okay.
But from the onset, the doctor who saw Samantha actually said Samantha was autistic. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, that was just passerby's
passerby's thought and diagnosis. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about some others' education. Again, education, or really, is it education? Does education really cut across everyone with disability, or what is education? It matters disability, and how has her journey been? Trying to access education, going to school. Let's look at it. Education as going to school. How did you begin, and what was the experience around there getting her into school? Did you take her to the schools where the siblings had been straight away, and was it smooth?
Well, when we started taking her to school, first of all, let me say that she started walking at 2 years, 8 months.
Wow, okay.
That's the time she actually walked. And at this particular point, she was still in diapers.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
she was still in diapers. So when she clocked 3 years,
yes,
because she couldn't talk at the time, she could try to call me, but generally she couldn't talk. So, but now we thought it was quite good for us to access school for her, that particular early, whatever stage.
Yes.
And it became quite hard because she was on diapers.
Yes.
And it was impossible to instruct her. So I tried taking her to the school where the siblings were, which was a private school, actually a Catholic school.
Okay.
Which is quite nice.
Yes.
But the teachers expressed difficulties because at the time she was in diapers, and it was actually hard to, to instruct her. And the kind of curriculum they had, it was not going to be very easy. But in my struggles, rather in our struggles to try and get her school, we got a certain teacher who actually directed us to a very interesting school that I'll never forget. And I'll forever thank maybe the government, and especially the local government for that particular school, because it was actually a city council school.
Oh, okay.
Yes, a certain school in Bahati.
Okay.
I wasn't living there, but I had to take my child there.
From wherever you're living?
Oh, yes, and I took her there.
Yes.
It's at Bahati, this road that leads to the Makadara Court.
Okay.
It is just there.
Okay.
Like a very nice nursery, which was basically just a nursery.
Oh.
It was not a nursery for a school. It was just an independent nursery school. Which actually, predominantly, it was actually taking care of challenged children.
Oh, beautiful.
And so actually they used to cook for them porridge. They would give them bread, white bread, because we were saying autistic children are not supposed to be taking brown bread and everything. And I don't know how it used to run, because they used to give them bread throughout. On a bluebird, very nice porridge. They would change her diapers. Mine was just to drop her there.
With the diapers?
With the diapers and the other clothes. And sure enough, they used to change her.
Wow.
And they used to learn, by the way. They used to learn.
Okay.
Just that she was not able to talk.
Yes.
And she was among the youngest. And because there were other kids that were bigger, and I think she was quite interesting to these big ones, so they used to help her, So basically it was fun at that particular point. But a time came when she started walking very well with Down syndrome.
Oh,
There's this girl who had Down syndrome.
In the same nursery.
Yeah. Who actually, the way they had divided the school, the school it had 4 sections.
Okay.
So she was in the youngest, whatever. But I don't know why this particular girl preferred her. And she was she was in the class for the big girls, or the seniors.
Okay.
So she
they
actually
seemed to connect.
very well.
Yes.
And she was experiencing Down syndrome.
Yes.
And she liked my baby so much. Now the worst thing is she couldn't talk.
Okay.
She would come and pick my child from the class, and she started teaching her sign language.
Oh.
And, and she started learning the sign language.
A pupil teaching a pupil.
And my child started responding very well to sign language.
Wow.
And the teachers really got concerned.
Yes.
Because they were like, the way she's trying to master sign language, she may never talk.
She may never talk.
Because actually she'd come home and she's telling us, she's And time came, and I was advised by somebody to just pull her out.
So that you disconnect.
Yeah, exactly. So that she's now able to whatever. And I tried doing that. I actually took her back to now the school where the sisters were.
Yes.
At this particular time, she still went there, but in diapers, because now in that other school, they didn't mind changing. So when I took her to now the Catholic school, I don't know, for some reason, again, the first day, they just did the potty. I took her with the potty.
Potty,
Do you know what? They trained her how to go into the toilet. And she did.
First day again.
First day again.
Wow.
So I just went and picked potty, and she was there whole year, 2 years. But unfortunately, the speech was not coming out very well, and she was not still very able to cope with the system. Although it is Montessori system, but she couldn't cope as much. And then I also found it challenging because I think she was there for 3 years.
Yes.
And I could see the other children graduating to the next level.
To the next level.
And I think that was the most challenging time of my life. To watch other kids graduating.
From level 1 to the next.
Yes.
Yes.
And yours is just there. And it's not like she's been at the mind or, you know.
Yes, it's
It's
the
just
milestone.
because it's a milestone.
Uh-huh.
But unfortunately now she was one of a kind in the school. So it used to feel, you know, and what was very interesting is that I am feeling it as a mother, but for her, she's feeling
okay.
nothing. She's okay. You know, that is what was quite challenging.
True.
I am feeling for her.
It is so interesting, Jane, because most past people, especially mothers with children who are challenged or who are able differently, at times they feel for the child too much.
Yes, exactly.
But the child,
It's not even bothered.
Even especially because some of them are not cognitively alert.
Yes.
They don't care.
Yeah, they're not
even conscious.
They are not able to comprehend that.
Yes.
In fact, when the new pupils came, it was even better for her.
Yeah.
So, you know, she used to go to the sink alongside the other children, and she would really hit the water. That time she's about, I think, 6, 7 years.
Yes.
She's just playing with the water like the small ones. Whatever the small ones are doing,
She's
just
doing.
Yeah.
And enjoying her life.
Yes.
Okay. Now, thank you for telling us about your daughter, and a lovely daughter now at 16 you mentioned.
Yes.
Yes, and that's something. But let's talk about generally, because as in your counseling journey, also as a parent, you have met many other parents who have children who are able differently. At times, let's just talk about some of the experiences you have encountered, because you see, for you, I can see you really have journeyed as a family with your daughter.
Yeah.
But the persons you have met, interacted with, maybe some of them you have given psychosocial support. Is the journey always the same, like yours?
Well, actually not, because as much as I have said that I would feel it when the child, especially when it comes now to New Year, when the kids are going to the next level.
Yeah.
As much as I felt like that, one thing I can really thank God about is that I had already accepted my situation. And one thing I can tell you, Karen, is that I saw me as a mother, if I don't accept the situation of my child, it becomes very, very hard for the siblings and even my husband to be able to cope.
True.
That's one thing I've always seen.
Yes.
And I think this is now where mothers really have to take up this mantle and run with it. Because I don't know why it is hard for the siblings kind of follow you.
Now,
everybody is
just
watching.
Hold on. Viewers, this discussion is getting very interesting. If you know anyone who may benefit again from this discussion, maybe there's a new mother who has seen that their child is a bit different, or maybe they have just been given the diagnosis that their child is not like the other children, and they may be there struggling even to accept.
Yes.
Just loop them in this discussion. We are hoping and we are praying that we may encourage someone and let them know that they are not alone. Here is a mother with a 16-year-old journey who has journeyed with her daughter to this far. So loop in someone who may benefit from this discussion, and let us all educate the publics, the citizens, that really disability is not inability at all.
It is not.
One can live and achieve their very best potential. So go ahead and continue with that discussion.
Yeah. So basically I was saying that I really didn't go because I was not in denial. And I remember at that particular point I was in the Catholic Church.
Yes.
And fortunately I got a lot of support from the church members.
Wow.
In the sense that, okay, first of all, I think it's about you.
Yeah.
What you push forward
Yeah.
is what people will either accept or reject.
True, true, true.
Because I remember at that particular point I was even teaching Sunday school. And I remember there is this particular child who was crying, and then I happened to have held him. As I held him, he asked me, "Is that child mad?"
And you are a Sunday school teacher, and a Sunday school pupil is asking you, "Is your daughter mad?"
Yes.
And they don't realize.
Of course, they don't even know that she was my daughter.
Yeah.
But I think it's the way she was behaving.
Yes.
But now you can imagine a child asking me if my child. and I'm holding him because he was actually disturbing other children.
Yes.
But now he's actually right on my laps, asking me if my child is mad. Is that child mad?
Now you can imagine what that would have meant to another mother who has not accepted the situation. Oh my, I don't think they would have come back to church.
Yeah, I think it's all about serenity.
Yeah, true.
You know, I go to the rehab centers, and one thing I've learned is that they are always told you need to pray to God that He may help you to change what you can change and accept what is not changeable.
True.
So when they come to the issue of a challenged child, there is only little that there is so much that you can do, and what is within your power, please do it.
Do it.
But what is without your powers, leave it to the owner.
Leave it to the owner.
Because sincerely, you can really get frustrated. So if there's anything I can really thank God about, apart from that issue of getting into another level, and your child is left behind, and at that particular moment, it's an action of the moment. I've been very, very responsive, and I already accepted the situation. And in fact, sometimes I'm like, okay, yeah, we are special. And it's okay, we are special.
We are special. And in any case, every child is special.
There you are.
Because there are not two people who are the same.
Precisely.
Yeah, we are all special in our own way.
Yeah. So actually, for my case, I think I've never looked at my challenge as a big threat to me, you know. I've always looked at it as something that I am able to do that which I'm able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you are not able,
I just leave it.
You just leave it.
I just leave it.
Nice.
And I'm very, very happy.
Okay.
Because I don't even stress my child. Yeah.
Even as we continue, Jane, you can talk to a mother who could be somewhere. Even as we continue with this discussion, because you see, what you have said is very, very important. That you accepted and you decided, no, look, I have to bring everybody to on board, especially the siblings and your immediate family members. Talk to a mother somewhere as we continue, because that is a very important aspect in matters when you are raising children amidst their siblings. Yes.
Yeah, the Bible says that a woman will break her home with her own hands and still build with her own hands. And literally, I don't think the Bible really is talking about the structure itself per se.
True.
It's about bringing these people together.
Yeah.
Whatever you accept, your children accept. It's just like even when you cook.
Yeah.
When you cook your food, everybody happen to enjoy it.
True.
So if you don't give your children or your husband or whoever comes to your home a choice of accepting or not accepting your child, whatever you have accepted, they'll have to accept it anyway.
Perfect.
And if you want to gain support, you must try to show that these other siblings and even your husband, that this child is actually not a problem, but a blessing to the family. Because you'll be surprised. As far as I'm concerned, with my experience as a psychologist, everybody sincerely is disabled in one way or the other.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So when we say that able differently, it's not like we are trying to neutralize the experience, or neutralize the condition. Not really.
Yes.
Because I have noticed you may be physically disabled, but I have also seen that anybody who is physically disabled, for some reason, their power is also concentrated somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Yes.
True.
And so it is an issue of tapping.
Yes.
That where the concentration is.
Yes.
Where the concentration is.
Yes.
Like my child is very neat. She like order. When people eat, she's very busy correcting
the plates. Clearing.
And please, if you take so long on our dining table, she might as well finish for you the food so that she can take the things to the kitchen.
I like that.
So while everybody else is ignoring the plates and the cups, it's a bother.
Yeah.
She's very busy tidying up the place for me.
Beautiful.
And that is really something.
Wow.
I feel so good.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're saying that we need to look at every person, and even persons who are able differently. Let's concentrate on their abilities.
Of course.
And they're beautiful. Wow, beautiful,
very, very beautiful.
Now, we are going to go for a very short break. And when we come back, we continue this discussion. I think this discussion is getting better and sweeter, and I want to believe it's helping someone somewhere. So please, we are going for a very short break. When we come back, we are going to continue this discussion.
Nice.
Yes, thank you.
Life Church International is training Christ-like workers for Christ-like Church through Gospel Light College and Nation-to-Nation Christian University from Dallas, Texas. We offer a certificate, a bachelor's degree and master's degree in biblical studies and community development. The training will prepare you for ministry and the work of God in the church and the body of Christ. Through our different ministry partners, we have classes in Nairobi, Kajiado, Kirinyaga, and Machakos. Contact us through 0748 006112 for the ongoing registration for January 2025. Looking for a school that provides a solid foundation for your little one? Lozi Christian School is now admitting children from 2 to 6 years old from January 2025. At Lozi Christian School, we understand that every child is unique. Our qualified and experienced teachers ensure that each child gets the personalized attention they need. Our beautiful classrooms are designed to stimulate learning and spark curiosity, offering a rich environment that caters to every child's developmental stage. And we provide balanced meals, snacks, and lunch to keep your little one healthy and energized throughout the day. With a Christian approach, we focus on the holistic growth of every child. Give your child the start of a strong start in life with a school that truly cares. Enroll today. Don't miss this opportunity to give your child the best start. Visit us off Kasarani Mweki Road or call us now at +254 758 396 110. Lozi Christian School, a foundation for the future.
Welcome back. This is the GG report, and tonight we continue the discussion about disability and education. In particular, tonight we are looking at how to explore your child's full potential, especially for children who are able differently. These days we also talk about people who are challenged, people living with disabilities, but more so able differently. But all these terms mean one and the same thing. So how do we explore full potential for your child who is abled differently? And before we went on break, my guest, Jane, was telling us about, we were just talking about different experiences and how possible to bring out that potential in a child. And we said that oftentimes when we encounter, especially the citizens, the Republicans, or the people in the citizenship, when they encounter persons with disability, oftentimes people are quick to note the inabilities. But we are saying here, always look out for the abilities. There are very, very major abilities hidden in every individual.
Yes.
And even for persons with disability, they are able differently. And if you just take a bit of interest and intentional interest in a person who is able differently, you realize they have very major abilities. And before we went on break, Madam Jane, you were talking about these abilities.
Yes.
And so let's talk about parents. You and I live in the city. Mm-hmm. But again, we are also thinking about parents. You can wear the shoe. You can wear the shoe of parents who are far from the city. Mm-hmm. With a child who is able differently. Mm-hmm. Maybe they do not have the technology we have. They do not have the media is far from them. Mm-hmm. They do not know. The schools are far and apart. You know, let's just think about those parents and those children. And let's talk to parents. How is it that they can be able to really bring out the full potential or help bring out the full potential with their children who are able differently. Let's just think about that.
Yeah, I think it's actually sad that we don't have a lot of facilities, especially in the distribution of the facilities, even in the city. We are actually having a problem. And actually, to be more precise, I'm also doing that as one of the research that I'll be carrying out. Because sincerely, we have a challenge when it comes to the distribution of special needs schools. And especially government facilities, because the private facilities are quite expensive.
Yes.
Such that even if you are able,
you are still not able.
You are still not able, for real. And what I can tell parents is that, as I said earlier, look at what your child is able to do. For example, my child has been in school since she was 3 years.
Wow.
But as it is right now, she cannot write her name. She still cannot write her name.
And
so,
she has been in school for the last about maybe 13 years?
There you are.
Yeah.
13 years.
She's, yeah.
But I refuse to focus on writing the name. Okay.
Yeah.
So, me, I can write the name. So what?
Yes.
Yes, those who can write the name. Those who can do the mathematics. So what? You know?
I like that.
I mean, sincerely, yes.
Yes.
It is true. Okay, fine. It is enabling me to do 1, 2, 3. But I think I want to focus on many other things that my child can do. Because I've been telling myself, okay, she has siblings, fine, they're able to do 1, 2, 3. But we have so many other people who have gone to school, they don't have jobs, they don't have what. So why should I keep on concentrating on the fact that my child cannot write her name, or she cannot do mathematics, she cannot do... We have come to a conclusion that even after doing maths and doing English and doing history and doing geography, in fact, most of these subjects that I did in primary, high school, they are not even useful today. Majority of it is not useful today. I'm not trying to play down education, I'm sorry. Please don't take it that way. But I'm doing it for the sake of my sanity. And especially because it is the truth.
It's the truth.
Where are you applying your geography today? Where am I applying my, like now I don't do my chemistry and the physics. So the fact that my child cannot do physics, cannot do chemistry, it's either here or there. What else can she do in the place of physics? I think she can clear the tables.
That's beautiful, yes.
She can clear the tables, she can make her bed, you know. So I want to concentrate on all those things because if I'm able to empower her to do some of those skills, because we have now come to a conclusion. Like we have seen the government trying to take our people to Germany, I don't know, to Qatar, to wherever. And what are they taking them there to do? Skills. So I think parents, we don't have to really focus so much on the English and the mathematics and all those things. We can train our children's skills. And guess what? Clearing tables is one of the skills.
One of the skills.
I tell you.
Really.
Yeah.
And you can imagine there are so many opportunities just to clear the table.
You can start a restaurant and your child becomes the one who clears the table. And you pay them for that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you very much. I see quite a number of people are following this conversation. I notice and I acknowledge Farida Saku is tuned in. Karen Muhaki, such a great conversation. Harriet Masoro, wow, just says wow. Alexander Mashario is tuned in from Juja, Kiambu. Again, Karen Muhaki is saying disability is not inability. And then I see Godfrey Geshoke saying concentrate on the new unique abilities hidden in your child.
Yes.
If you look hard enough, you will discover what special treasure they are. Thank you very much for those comments. Please keep the comments coming. We will read them as we continue, and thank you for those who are tuned in this conversation. Now, parents. So, in other words, what I hear from you, you're saying that parents needs to really look and see the potential in them.
Yeah, for the strength of their child.
For their own sanity, first of all.
Yes.
And for the benefit of that child.
Precisely.
How about the teachers? For those who manage to be taken to school, what is their role in bringing out that potential?
For example, like where my child goes, I really love the school. It's a government school. My child was at one point in a private school where we were spending such a lot of money.
Yes.
And as I've told you, even having gone to very expensive international school, today she doesn't write her name. But I can tell you for free, it does not bother me at all.
Wow, that is liberating.
It doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I look her even to become, I look forward to her becoming even bigger and training her more on clearing the table.
Yes.
And I can tell you for free, I visited your house with her and we came to your dining.
Yes.
You don't even need to show her your kitchen. She will still clear your tables,
and
even in your house.
Everything to the kitchen.
And I told you, if you delay so much eating your food, she can as well finish your food and take her.
Interesting. That's a very liberating statement.
And she like doing makeups. You know.
Oh, she does.
Yeah, she like doing her own makeups and combing hair. You know. So I've been trying to capitalize on such things, and she brings joy to the house. And I can tell you another thing she can teach everybody is how to love. She loves so genuinely.
How to love.
People. She loves people. You know,
Wow.
humanity.
Yes.
And you know, like the way you look down on somebody, even people on the street. I can tell you for free. Like one day, I remember I was taking her for assessment on Jogo Road.
Yes.
And we happened to have gone by Matatu. And this city council person who was working, and they had put some tools on the road.
Yes.
You know, she just took them from the road and, you know, on the pathway. I think she noticed this thing will make somebody fall. She just threw them on the side.
Oh, clearing the road, the walkway.
And the lady was like, what's happening here?
You
She didn't know that she had left them actually, and somebody would have actually fallen. So for her, she will not wait to fall.
So she likes order.
She loves order. I focus on that.
Order.
Yes.
And that is something that is so precious.
Precisely.
If parents can just discover that one thing, those two things that their children can do best.
Yes.
And then just nurture that.
She loves that order, and for sure, like nowadays, she knows how to match her clothes very well.
Oh.
I don't pick her clothes. She's the one who identifies what she wants to wear. For me, it's just to make sure that her drawers and the wardrobe is well arranged. But she's the one who will go and pick, and she knows how to match her colors. Never mind, sometimes she confuses red and whatever. But when it comes to matching, she'll match. Yeah, she may not really be able to tell you. She like blue, she like white, she like green. Yeah.
Okay, now tell me, if you travel abroad, for example, every person has an opportunity to work. I'm just listening at the story of your daughter, and I'm seeing already that if she was abroad, especially in the developed countries, she would be working.
Oh yeah.
In let's say a supermarket. That's where I've seen such persons working in a supermarket, just stacking things, and they're working alongside others. You know, working alongside others, but they're busy stacking, because you see, she loves order. And if she knows that these particular things should be on this aisle, on this shelf, she will do that precisely well.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder what opportunities are there in this country, and what we can do to encourage entrepreneurs, to encourage prospective employers. Not necessarily in an office scenario, for example, like for your daughter, but in a manufacturing sector, in a supermarket sector, where you don't need a lot of intellect to do certain routine, repetitive jobs. I wonder what can be done, and are there those opportunities? Do you see that possibly eventually your daughter can be taken up by a store somewhere to work, or somewhere?
Well, as time goes on, because you know she takes instruction, she can do it.
She can
and
do
I can
it.
say that these children can take instructions. What happens is that majority of us are quite impatient with these children. Because the many people that I've met, like I met somebody actually who had attempted suicide because she has a CP.
Oh.
Yeah. These children, they can actually tire, but why they tire is because most of the time you don't give them a chance. You want to do for them things, and you want to look at them as a shame and as a bother. So for many people, actually, they have locked up their children. And you know, one thing we must agree together here is that even a normal child, in quote, they learn a lot through modeling.
True.
And modeling is when they pick from what you're doing. Now, if you keep on locking your child, who models for them? In the bedroom where you lock them. And I first of all want to say that there's something that really scares me. That you as a mother, You have taken that this child is just yours and you lock them somewhere in the room. If you died today,
Wow.
what happens to that child? Because for me, let me tell you, Pastor Karen, I look at myself as human who
Yes.
can be gone tomorrow.
True.
And I've prepared my child. Everything held constant. I'll die before my child. Why? Because I'm aged as far as she's concerned. And sometimes back I thought she would rather die before me. But now why should she die before me?
No.
I don't want her to die.
I like that.
I want her to live on.
That's liberating.
So, yes. So I want her to live on. But how does she live on in this society?
Yes.
That is very cruel.
Yeah.
First of all, let me tell you, if there's anything I've been telling God, I want when the right time comes, I want my child to bring me babies. Interesting.
Amen. I say amen.
Oh
to
yes.
that.
Why?
Yeah.
Because Pastor Karen,
Yeah.
as I've told you, everything held constant.
Yeah.
I might die before her. I'm already enjoying my children.
Yes.
Her included.
True.
I also want her to enjoy her family one day. And I've realized I don't want to push this burden in quote
Yeah.
to her sibling, to the siblings.
Yes.
I know this is my challenge. She's my child, rather she's our child, especially for me and my husband.
Yes.
And I want to help her as much as I can so that she can be able to stand in this cruel society, because it can be cruel.
Yes.
Because they'll call her names, you know. And I've made her know that she is normal, just the way she is. Whatever she's able to do, that is good enough.
Wow. Did you hear that, mother somewhere, a parent somewhere? Give your child who is able differently an opportunity.
Yes.
Opportunity to be themselves and to bring out the best. And also train their siblings and all your neighbors
Yes.
to accept your child. So that in case you're not there, or in case you are at work, someone else can be able to know how to cope with your child, at least for a day.
I can tell you
Yeah.
for free.
Yes.
I go to Sitam.
Yes.
I mean Sitam Boroboro.
Aha.
Believe
okay.
you me,
Yes.
I have passed over this responsibility to everybody.
Oh.
How have I done indirectly?
How have you done that?
In the sense that, like now, today, if my child happened to leave the church to go to the loo, I don't follow her.
Someone will go with her.
But interestingly, other people's antennas are so high up, they're even more scared than I am. Me, I'm comfortable. I know she'll go and come back. But for some reason, the ushers, I don't know who follows. You know, they follow her.
Just to ensure
Do you
she's
know what?
fine.
Even the security, they know her.
Wow.
They know her. And everybody is, no, where is your mom? Whenever they see her, where is your mom? So,
Wow.
and it has become very easy for me.
It's
because
easier for
I've
you.
accepted her and have made the public in the church knows she's okay.
She's okay.
Yeah, and please help me. You know, I've
Help
told the
me.
society indirectly.
I need your support indirectly.
Exactly.
Yes.
And exactly, even other children, even their mother still needs support somehow. Because even if you saw a normal child, in quote, walking anyhow without somebody, you'd
Yeah,
be
you'd
able
be
to follow her.
concerned,
So
yeah.
mine is not any
It's
worse
not
or
any
better.
different.
It's not different.
No.
So basically, I can tell you for free, I thank God, Buruburu fraternity, believe you me, you guys are, you're good
Wow.
people, you know.
Wow.
And even when
I
we
hope you
stay-
shared with them the link.
yeah, I can tell you for free.
Yes.
I'm very, very happy
Yes.
about the challenges, the way they take care of my child, and the church in general.
Yeah.
And she's very responsible herself. By the way, she take care of other children.
Wow.
The so-called normal children, she take care of them. She like
as
giving.
long as they're younger than her.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know, younger is,
relative
if they are
again.
shorter than her,
They're
they are younger. They are young. And so she's basically, she's a very lovable child. And I think it's because I've given her a lot of love. And she has really reciprocated. And she gives a lot of love. And I can tell the parent, please don't lock that child. What will happen to her if you die tomorrow? Why are you scared of bringing your child out? You didn't create her. You know, why should I be ashamed of my child? I didn't create her.
True.
BM people, how can they be scared or concerned about a vehicle they didn't make? Who manufactured this child? It's God.
Jane, some parents will argue and say that they actually don't lock the children.
Uh-huh.
And I also possibly believe not all of them will lock.
Uh-huh.
But then they're asking, where is this child? Where am I going with this child? One, I don't have the means, the access. Thinking about, again, children who may not be able to walk on their own, you know, just to walk on their own. And possibly they're on a wheelchair or something. And maybe the family doesn't have means to ferry them in an Uber or something. So they're thinking, even if I wanted to go with this child, surely how will I access is already such a challenge. And that at times may draw them back. So which other ways can they expose that child? They may not have the means in terms of vehicles or even the money, but there's still an opportunity for them to expose that child so that they can interact with other children and really bring out the best in them. How can they do that?
For me, I would say that try as much as possible to integrate your child. Let vehicles or whatever means you're talking about not really be an excuse. Because we shall never be equal in this world. For example, now, when we meet in town here, or in the church or wherever, I can tell you for free, people use different means, but they still get whatever they want to get. So the issue is, look at your issue, evaluate it, but do the best you can within your means. Because now, if you say that you don't have a car, you don't have this and that, if you'll never have a car, so what happens to you? What will happen to you? So I think it is all about making good use of the opportunities that you have. Yeah, because people go to far off schools and they wake up early. So take this child to the chamas that you go to. Start your journey early.
On the other hand, also, I think we could also bring them on board in terms of birthdays, bring other people,
Precisely.
the members, host the birthdays.
Instead of going,
host the birthday.
Precisely.
And even offer to host the birthday for your neighbor's child.
Exactly.
So then they come and be with your child.
There you are.
So then they are not isolated.
I am telling you, where there is a will, because as I talk to you parents, I'm not talking from a point of being rich.
No.
Even by the time I was getting my child, I didn't have a car.
You didn't have.
But imagine if you ask, because even God can see probably you need it, He'll provide. And I have seen parents ferrying children, like now where my child go to school, with wheelchairs. I'm telling you, where there is a will, there is a way. So first of all, let there be a will.
Yes.
So don't give excuses, oh, mine doesn't do this. Because first of all, some of these children are actually physically disabled. They were initially not physically disabled because you locked them in. You know, because exercising.
So they lost ability.
Like my child, I can tell you for free, her legs were very heavy. And I had one of the house girl or the house manager, whatever you call yours, who came to my house and she told me, Mama Samantha, the way we are taking public means to take Samantha to school, I think we can cut the journey short by just making her walk a certain distance.
Wow.
Then we can commute a certain distance by foot, so that at least her legs become lighter.
Wow.
Do you know what? That really enlightened me.
Wow.
And they actually started walking a kilometer. So what? Yes. And this came from a house girl.
Amazing.
Yes. So she started walking with her a kilometer. And I can tell you, she would walk slowly. She would even tell me, no, Mom, I want to take, she knows how to talk.
Yes.
So she would tell me she wants to take the matatu. And the house girl would tell me no. So in the morning, she's dropped somewhere. They walk.
Okay.
They walk to that stage. And then they walk back. And guess what? Her legs started becoming lighter. And you know, at one point, I would even take her there. And aniacha nyuma. Because she started, you know, her legs would be grounded because of the not exercising. So I think the child needs to exercise all the way. When they come to talking, keep engaging the child. Let the child go and engage and refuse to be ashamed of her. She's not ashamed herself. So why are you ashamed?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. We have some other comments coming in. Shira Desire says, wow, I'm really enjoying the conversation. Then Alexander Masharia says, our guest exudes joy and positivity.
Yes.
It's truly inspiring how she's helping parents of children with needs or neurological disabilities focus on the positive side of the children. God bless you, he says.
Thank you, thank you, thank
you. Now, our time is almost running out. But let's shift a bit and talk about the government. In the prior years, let's say like about 16, 15, 10 years ago, there was vibrancy on matters disability. And where everybody was saying, no, everybody must take their child to school. And you know, the chiefs were everywhere. Chief barazas were talking, no, watoto wote, they must go to school, they must go to school. But that seems to have gone down a bit. But anyway, do you think the government is doing enough to help parents? Because at times also parents also need support. They also need to see the government's input. I have parents who have said, I take my child to a school, maybe a special school, but there is no much going on there. They have the teachers, but there's no much going on. I'm not seeing any change even after 3-4 years. Do you think the government is doing enough?
Well, for me, I think it's not doing enough. And I don't know whether to blame the APDK. I don't know whether to say
The
that
National
APDK,
Council.
that it's maybe not championing enough. However,
Yes.
there's still some change in the sense that some schools that were not integrated are now getting integrated. So if you're a parent and you're out there, please get to know where are your nearby schools, so that at least you're able to take your child. And as I said earlier, even if your school is a bit far, please wake up early. The beauty about these children, they're not fussy.
True.
Yeah, they're not fussy. If you woke up at 5, at least they're not conscious it is 5 or it is 4 in the morning. You know, by the way, for me, I also capitalize on that. The fact that she's not able to know it is 4 or 5 in the morning.
It's still okay.
It's still okay. So just to wake up, please stop. You know, don't look down upon yourself or stop getting tired. At least you're alive. Help that child to get some life. Because I think I've shared some life with mine, and she's so lively. So I refuse to be put down by these conditions. Because I've realized some of these conditions are also sponsored by the enemy, just to put you down. So you have to realize also, by the way, you also have to know your child very well. Because also the enemy comes through them to frustrate you. So you really have to be able to detect this, to discern this, so that at least you're able to work with your child and enjoy your child. Please enjoy your child in their condition. And especially right now, I don't know why, for some reason, Pastor Karen, these conditions right now, they are so rampant, by the way. Almost every other family I've seen, they're having this kind of a child.
Wow.
Yes.
I've had that because I've had interaction with quite a number of parents.
Oh, yes.
And they're saying, we need to look at data again to see whether what's going on, because I think I'm in a few groups and I've seen there are so many groups of so many challenges.
Young parents nowadays, almost every other family they have it. And unfortunately, something I've observed, allow me to say unfortunately, if they happen to get a firstborn challenged, they stop there. They are scared.
Stop there. Oh,
yes.
Okay.
But I would
speak to them.
I would really encourage you. Keep going. Why stop there?
Yeah.
Maybe the one you're holding is the one who will come to save this one.
To save this one. And
because as I said earlier, this is my last one. Everything held constant. I may die first before her. You know, who will I leave her with? But as I said earlier, it is my prayer that she will bring me children. I'm ready to take care of 2 children at least. Why? Because I know people who are a bit older than me, like now my mom, they are taking good care of their mother. They have hired somebody to take care of their mother. So if she gets these children, they'll also take care of her in her old age. So I'll give her that opportunity, because I remember one day I counseled a girl who was Down syndrome. And at one point she was pregnant, and the family kind of helped her. I don't want to say that here, you know. And she asked me something. Why didn't they allow me to be a mother? And you know, I hear them called mama, whoever. Why did they give me a chance also? You know. So I'd like my child one day to become a mother. I'll be very happy.
Beautiful. Yeah. Will that come to pass?
It will come to pass.
It will come
because
to pass.
It is my belief that,
it is your belief.
Somebody will take care of her in her old age, because I'd like her to go all the way to the years of God, 70 and above.
Amen.
Yeah, I want her to be a good example.
Wow. Now, so the government, there's still room for the government to do much more.
Certainly, there is a lot of room for the government to improve.
Yeah.
Because those schools actually, the integrated schools are not well distributed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, time is running out, but let's just talk a bit. What is it that the church can do to support families with children who are able differently, or children with disabilities, or persons living with disabilities? What is the role of the church in 1 minute? Yeah, so the role of the church is basically, like CITAM, I know it has the Challengers team. When there is that Challengers group or department,
the church can easily be able now to help such kind of people. And I think the churches also need to come up with the schools that are integrated.
Wow.
Because because I think there is one in Donholm, but I don't know of very many. Maybe they are there. But the church actually need to come up with such kind of schools, because the church has to work alongside the government. The government cannot really do everything. The government has a room to do quite a bit, and the church can also come to support in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I think this discussion is getting good, but our time is running out, really running out. But as we bring this to an end, because our time is really up, I would want you to talk to some mothers, some parents, not just mothers. Why do we assume mothers are the only ones with these children? Parents with children or with people living with disabilities, encourage them and tell them it's doable.
Yeah, I'd like to tell you, parents, sincerely, it is doable. If your girls are big and maybe somebody was expecting, please don't abort them. Let them have a baby. Let them be mothers if they have to. And even the young mothers, sometimes they are so scared. So when their girls are about 12 years, wanawafungisha, why should you do that? Surely, why do you want to deny your child a chance even to ever become a mother? Suppose they become normal, as far as the world standards are concerned, when that child is about 15 or 18 years, what can you be able to reverse that situation? Don't let us not overreact. Let us continue handing over this situation to God, and let us take a step at a time. Because if a normal person, in quote, can become disabled, what makes you think that a disabled cannot become normal at one point?
True.
Role can reverse.
True.
Stuff can happen.
Yeah.
So if stuff happen and Jesus come and start walking in the world and the disabled are attached, and you messed up with your girl, with your son, don't you think it will be such a pain? I refuse to mess up with my child. So please don't mess up with that child. They are a blessing to us as a society. They are a blessing to your family, and don't hide them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Viewers, that is all we had tonight. Very interesting show, but I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope somebody somewhere is gonna get help. In case you need help, even to a support group, at least we can connect you with support groups where you could be able to link up with other parents and also link up with mothers, and from there you can be able to get whatever kind of support you may need. Most of it is information. So until we meet again, if we have another chance, I say bye-bye. And this has been the Gigi Report, and I've been your host, Karen Kibuchi, aka Karen Gigi. See you another day. Thank you. Bye-bye.